Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most significant moves of the NFL season so far. Rumors are swirling that the Washington Commanders are in serious talks to acquire Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. Now I know what you're thinking, Simmons. That's a game changer, especially for a team looking to bolster its defensive front and make a real push toward the playoffs and beyond. And let's be honest, this isn't just speculation. Sources close to both teams suggest this could be a reality, and if it happens, it could shake the NFC East in ways we've never seen before. Jeffrey Simmons, for those who might not be fully familiar, is a disruptive defensive tackle who's been making waves since he entered the league. At 30 years old, Simmons has proven himself as one of the most impactful interior linemen in the NFL. His stats are impressive. Last season, he racked up 9 sacks, which is no small feat for a defensive tackle, and placed him 10th in the league in that category. But it's not just sacks that make him valuable. Simmons has a stellar PFF grade of 85. 2 overall, with an 86.7 run defense rating, which ranks him 4th among interior defenders, and an 84.1 pass rush grade. He's a menace against both the run and the pass, capable of wrecking plays all over the field. His career totals speak volumes, 45 sacks so far with a combined EPA of -0, 22 per play, and 150 pressures that have kept offensive lines on edge. Simmons' ability to disrupt the pocket is second to none, and his impact extends beyond just the stats. His presence on the field commands double teams, freeing up other pass rushers, and his versatility makes him a nightmare for any offensive line. The fact that he's been relatively healthy, with only minor knee injuries in 2025, adds to his appeal. His 2025 stats are equally impressive, with 9 sacks and a PFF grade of 85.2, signaling he's still in top form, ready to wreak havoc again. Now, why would the Titans consider trading Simmons? Well, the Titans are currently sitting at a disastrous 3-12 start this season, and that's putting a lot of pressure on the front office to rebuild. Reports indicate that Tennessee has been focusing on cap extensions for their quarterback Levis and prioritizing the offensive line, which has left Simmons on the trading block. The Titans are also trying to shed some cap space, about $19 million, to facilitate their rebuild. The idea of trading Simmons for a first-round pick in 2026 and a second-round pick in 2027 makes sense from their perspective, especially since they're looking to add youth and draft capital. But for the Commanders, this isn't just about acquiring a star player. It's about transforming their defense into a fortress. Adding Jeffrey Simmons to a defensive line that already features some promising pieces would significantly increase their pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Projected stats suggest that with Simmons, the Commanders could see their sacks increase by around 15, pushing their total to a much more threatening level. His presence would also improve run defense dramatically, allowing just 2 yards per carry compared to the current 4.1, and would lead to an EPA expected points added of around 3 per play, which is huge for a team that's been struggling to contain the run and generate consistent pressure. Imagine a front 7 anchored by Simmons, combined with the emerging talents of other defensive linemen and linebackers. Opposing offenses would have a much harder time establishing a rhythm, and turnovers could increase substantially, up to 8 more per season, given Simmons' knack for disrupting plays and forcing fumbles. Historically, teams that have acquired players like Simmons see a marked improvement. The Commanders could see over 200 stops on defense, making their defense one of the most feared in the league. This move would also revitalize the locker room and send a message that the franchise is serious about contending now, not just rebuilding. And speaking of stakes, the Super Bowl odds tell a compelling story. Currently, the Commanders are considered long shots, with odds around +20, but acquiring Jeffrey Simmons could shift those odds significantly, potentially coming down to around +8, 500. That's a game-changing boost, and it's not just about the odds. It's about the message it sends to the division. A dominant interior pass rusher like Simmons would make the Commanders a serious threat, especially with a defense that's been solid but not quite at the elite level needed to make a deep playoff run. Simmons is an X-factor, a player who can single-handedly tilt the scales in close games and give the Commanders a tangible edge over their rivals. Now let's talk about the Titans' side of things. They might be skeptical about trading Simmons, especially since they still see him as a core piece for their future. But given the current season's struggles and the focus on rebuilding, it's understandable why they'd consider it. Plus, the potential return of a first-round pick in 2026 and a second in 2027 is attractive, especially when you're trying to build for the long term. The Titans are also trying to focus on their offensive line and have been extending Levis, which might mean they're willing to part with some of their star defensive talent to get the necessary draft capital and cap relief. For the Commanders, this move would be considered a pivot point, a statement of intent. It would solidify their identity as a team that's not just trying to develop, but is ready to contend now. Simmons' role as an anchor on the defensive line would help the team's overall performance, and his leadership on the field could be invaluable for the younger players developing behind him. The coaching staff would have a versatile weapon to deploy in multiple packages, and the fans could finally start feeling the excitement of a defense that can truly dominate. Looking ahead, the impact of such a trade could go beyond just this season. It could set the tone for future drafts, free agency, and the overall culture of the team. The Commanders have been building steadily, and adding a player like Simmons could be the piece that pushes them over the edge into real playoff contention and possibly a Super Bowl appearance. It's the kind of move that can change the trajectory of a franchise, and you better believe the fan base is buzzing with anticipation. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually materializes. The NFL is a league of negotiations, and nothing is certain until it's officially announced. But if the rumors are true, and the Commanders manage to land Simmons, fans can look forward to a much more aggressive, disruptive defense and a team that's ready to take the NFC East by storm. It's a move that could redefine the identity of the franchise and put the entire league on notice. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Simmons is the missing piece to finally take this defense to the next level? Are you excited about the potential of this trade, or do you think it's too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal.